Welcome to another episode of Stories from the Edge of Life. We have once again two very special colleagues of mine, all the way from Mexico. We have Dr. Esther Iyune, uh, and we also have Dr. Andrea Martinez de la Vega. Welcome again to Stories from the Edge of Life. So, Dr. Esther, would you mind introducing yourself to our audience one more time, please?
Sure. Hi, I'm Esther Iyune. I studied medicine and then I do a specialty on gynecology and then a subspecialty on human reproduction.
Great. And Dr. Andrea Martinez?
Hi, I am also a doctor from Mexico City. Esther and I went to college together. That's where we met. In case you were wondering, we're friends since then. And I did a residency in anesthesiologist and specialized in palliative care.
Outstanding. And I'm Parag Bharadwaj. I'm a hospice and palliative medicine physician in the US. So, Dr. Esther, so you work in a infertility clinic.
Yeah.
Where couples who are struggling to have children come to you, to have kids. So I'm going to share with the audience a few pictures that you sent. And if you wouldn't mind, you're just walking us through what those pictures are all about. So what are we seeing here?
Okay, that's a day one embryo. Before this, we have the egg and the sperm, and then we have this embryo that has already, the fertilization of the egg has already occurred. The fertilization means that the DNA of the egg already made a union with the DNA of the sperm.
All right. And then here, in this picture?
That's a day 3 embryo. Okay, we have in that embryo, we have between 8 to 10 cells.
And what are we seeing here?
That's a day 5 embryo. If you can see that little bump, the mountain in the left side, that's the inner mast cell that is going to give us the embryo itself, the baby. Okay, and the other part, that the other little cells are the trifectoderm that is going to lead us to the placenta. And the little circle that you see in the right side is the hatching, that the embryo is it's bumping out of the zona pellucida just to prepare for the implantation.
Got it. So implantation to the uterus.
Yeah, we can see this because this is a in vitro fertilization, an IVF. This happens naturally in the human body, in the human in a woman, but we can see this because we did the IVF.
So all these pictures are taken in a Petri dish.
Yes.
In the lab.
Yeah.
All right. And then let's look at this video that you sent us. It's a time-lapse video. Let's see. So what are we seeing here?
The same image, that's the two cells that are dividing. That's the evolution or the development of the embryo till day 1, and it's dividing. That's inside of the incubator. So you can see day 2 when you have 4 cells, day 3 when you have 8 to 10 cells, day 4 you have the morula, that means that you have 12 to 16 cells, and then it's becoming a day 5 embryo or a blastocyst. The division occurs very, very, very quickly, and then you have a day 5 embryo. See how it expands, and this embryo has between 230 to 250 cells. Okay, and then it's hatching. You can see how it's leaving the zona pellucida empty, and that the embryo itself that is going to do the implantation.
Sorry, I was on mute. I was just saying, how fascinating is that? So at one point in time, all of us look like that,
Yeah,
right?
that's
And
it.
so you actually see, um, you know, parents being able to have kids. So how does it feel like to be part of the process to bring life into this world and bringing joy to these parents?
I think it's a team play, because we need from everyone, since the woman that has the shots receives the hormones and deals with a lot of stress. The embryologist, which has a crucial part of this, and myself, that I do the doses and the medication and do the retrieval of the eggs. So this is a team, but it feels amazing. Feels amazing that you have the egg, and suddenly 5 days later you have this embryo with the information of both parents.
And then 9 months later, you actually end up holding a baby.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
so you see the baby from, being a few cells, and then holding the baby, and then presenting the baby to the parents. That must be a very unique feeling. Would you want to reflect on that, please, for our audience?
I feel like I don't know how to express when I see all these mass of cells, and then the pregnancy test goes positive, and then 14 days later we can see the sac, and then the embryo with a heart beating. That's amazing. When I hear the heart beating, it's like life itself. I can see life. And then I can see the development of the pregnancy, how the baby moves, and how the baby has his legs, and I don't know, his face and everything. It's amazing. I cannot explain. But when I receive it and I give to the parents and I see the smile on their face, it's I cannot tell you enough. Yeah, it's life.
Yeah, that's amazing, and thanks for all you do. And it's amazing how much progress science has made, so that you're able to help the parents of such babies.
Yeah.
So we'll switch gears a little bit and ask Dr. Andrea, what do you think about, this whole process? Because you come from, the kind of medicine that you practice. You at times mention that you're on the other end of the spectrum, as Dr. Esther. So you often are called to take care of patients who are, dealing with serious illnesses. Some of them could be terminal. So considering what you just saw, what are your thoughts and reflections?
That when patients, they're dying and they come to palliative care at the end of life, well, end of life, and I quote because I have a little different perspective on that. We'll get on that later. That they want a miracle, no, that they want to keep living. They already had their miracle, because they had to become two cells, to become one, to become more and more cells, to become an embryo, to become a baby, to get alive from the uterus, to actually live. So you have already had your miracle. You cannot have two miracles in this life.
Wow,
That's my point of view.
that's an amazing perspective. Uh, wow, I'll remember that. Yes, so I think that was a very humbling and very powerful statement that you made, that we are actually we are all miracles in a sense. And so what was the other thing that you said? You have a different perspective about life and death. Would you want to share that with our audience as well?
Yeah, I think it's the uncertainty of what lies in the unknown. What comes before the uterus life and after that? Is it the same? And actually, what I was thinking, if it is Esther actually doing end of life in her work, and I'm doing the beginning of life in my work? So it's a thought that I've been having lately in my mind. And how do we prove it? How do we get there? It's the unknown, and it could be either way. It's just the perspective you see it with.
Fascinating perspective. So, uh, Dr. Esther, anything you want to add to that?
Mm, It depends on the perspective, because I think the start of life of what we can see, but as a spiritual person, I think we're not just like this joint of mass the cells that we see and the things that we can touch and prove with the science. So we are more, and we have proven that. So yeah, you have a very, very interesting perspective, Andrea. So I don't know. We don't know anything. We're playing our roles in this world.
Yeah, but it's also good to know that you have friends and colleagues like each other to, reflect your thoughts and your observations as well. Because I find it very fascinating to talk to you both, and I wanted to capture that in a recording for our audience. So, fascinating conversations as usual with both of you, and thank you so much for all that you do. And I'd love for you to join us again in the future.
Of course. Thank you for inviting me. It was all my pleasure. I enjoy so much of these conversations, and I hope to see you soon.
Likewise. Thank you both.
Thank you for having us again. And also, I hope we can see each other again soon. Thank you for everything to both of you.